What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 4th day of November, and here we are at about $2.30 with 9 hours and 9 minutes left in the day. Bitcoin has officially interacted with its 50-week moving average. I'm sure everybody's watching that right now. We found support there, an area that we found support prior, and prior to that, even throughout this cycle, we've continued to find support at this level. What comes next, one can only guess. I think we're going to have a massive breakout. We're going to move faster with Bitcoin and the rest of crypto. We're going to see the biggest move that we've seen, I think, all bull market is what's going to come next. And we're talking about Bitcoin because, again, what's happening with Bitcoin is very relevant to XRP. And XRP, I have to say, is actually holding up better, I think, than most coins are, right? If we look at the others chart, we look at the total market cap, excluding the top 10, the average altcoin right now is well below their daily close on the 10th. XRP is below the close on the 10th, but I just feel like, looking at this area, you're more at the bottom of this area where the others chart looks like it's broken out a little bit, right? Maybe you're not holding up better. Maybe you're holding up just as well as the rest of the market, but you're doing all right. You've got higher lows. Maybe that's what I'm looking at instead of lower lows, right? And I do expect that you hold support here and that you do move higher. I'm actually kind of curious, what are the liquidation levels like for XRP over the past 30 days? There are actually a good bit of longs, still tremendous amount of shorts in comparison. One day, pretty even, 50-50 over the past week. Yeah, I mean, we could go lower, and we'll look at the short-term stuff. We'll see how low we can go if we do go lower, but it's very possible, and I think it's time to accept, at least, especially if you're a bear, that this is it, man. This is it. We're going to move up higher whenever the time comes, whenever we do see prices that are above $3 again, whenever we break out of this overall phase here. That's going to launch the price. Launch it through the freaking roof, man. It's going to be spectacular. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom out from there, and we'll probably use a different chart because Coinbase doesn't have the all-time history. $2.30 right now, moving up 1.8% on this hour. This is one of the bigger green candles that we've seen really since the 30th of October. So all month, this is the biggest green candle on a 1 hour time frame that we've had all month of November so far, being that we're in the 4th day here. The RSI is shaping up. Hey, this is a good look. This is actually a good look. You do have lower lows. You do have lower highs here, right? You've got some kind of like wedge trend here, but you're shifting that downtrend into like a sideways trend here. You can see it's sideways. And typically whenever you do that, you start to actually phase from the downward sloping movement to an upward sloping movement. I wonder if we can find an example of this. Kind of the same idea here, but to the upward effect. Higher lows, higher highs. You shift it into a sideways phase before you shift it into a downwards phase, right? It doesn't always happen that way, but it does happen a good bit. Look at this, right? Lower lows, lower highs, then sideways, and then uptrend, right? It's pretty common. It does happen, right? Upwards trend, sideways, and then downtrend. That's just typically what happens. Sideways and then uptrend here. I think I've made my point. I don't need to make more examples. It's not as common actually as it seems here. This makes it seem like it happens every single time, but it is probably happening here. I would think that we push higher, but again, in the sense of this newly found upward sloping trend potentially that we're in, you probably move up just a little bit more and then you come back down. So while it is exciting that Bitcoin may or may not be finding support at its 50-week moving average, and I think it will, it could go lower still. We could go below it. We could go down to $99,000 and still be okay as long as we're closing the week above. What's the weekly moving average at? 103,000. As long as we're closing the week above there, I think we're fine. But XRP could certainly move up from here a little bit and then move down, higher, low, and then up and then down, and then eventually we'll get to a breakout point. I'm not expecting that it's full on light speed ahead right now, right? But looking at the 1 hour time frame, I like the RSI. All that to say, I like the stochastics. They look bullish as well. You've got, this upward posturing here. It looks good. You are at a point where you've rejected before, but I think you go up a little bit higher. 4 hour time frame has bullish divergence, right? You've got higher lows here, and you're flashing green now. Lower lows there. That bullish divergence started all the way back here. Might you recover to $2.40 before you consolidate it all? That might actually be the case. Let's look at this here. $2.40. That's where that divergence started, was $2.40 from a high to a low of this range overall. $2.40 right there at the 382. That's exactly where you're going to go. I theorize that here today, it is 9 hours left in this day. Either by the end of today or in the very, very early hours of tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to see a $2.40 price. We will likely pull back. I'm going to be a genie here, you guys. You ready? $2.40 to $2.42, something like that. You pull back to 233, and then you're off, and then you're really running. Okay. Then we're at 250. Then we're looking to break above this. Once you get above 270. All bets are off to the downside, guys. It's go time. It's time to start thinking about new all-time highs. It's time to start thinking about numbers above $10, above $13, and all that stuff. XRP is holding up rather well, guys. You're just consolidating, right? You're just in this horizontal channel consolidating. It's a perfect little box. You're at the base of this channel, and so far, you're having a good reaction. Let's keep the party going, right? I think it'd be great if this reaction here could go above where this little bearish engulfing candle was here. Look at the reaction you had last time, right? That was a nice reaction. If we can make this a better reaction, I think that's very promising. And what do I mean by better reaction? I mean moving up to this same level but faster, right? This took us from October 17th to October 27th. If we can make this move in less than 10 days, if we can get back above that price in less than 10 days, that just validates exactly what I'm saying, that this move is very powerful, that we are going to move up higher. And again, I think we can correspond it even without this high. We could look at this high. You know, this was the 20th. 3 days from the 17th, we hit a price of $2.55. Can we get above 255? Can we get above the golden ratio over the next 3 days by the end of this week? I think we can. XRP is looking like it's shaping up to go to $2.84, $3 and beyond as the days go on, okay, as the days go on. I really wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week we were back up at this area or even beyond. Again, let me say that one more time because I think people are in the wrong frame of mind right now. They might be thinking we're going lower, right? By the end of this week, which we have 5 days and 10 hours left, and 5 days, 9 hours left actually. By the end of this week, XRP might just be at 270 or higher, okay? In the next 5 days and 9 hours. We look at the 4-hour indicators here. The RSI does have bullish divergence, a little bit of a double bottom there, right? Actually, is that double bullish? It's technically double bullish divergence, and that would be good enough to send us to prices right around 240, right there. Again, lining up there. Stochastics kind of look ugly here, and so does the MACD, but you're moving sideways. They're going to be less reliable. I think the RSI is telling us the truth here. Looking at the daily time frame, whew, it's just crazy. It's just so crazy that we're back down here, man. Felt like we could not escape this to save our lives, and now here we are. We're actually on a different note, right? Instead of finding resistance at the zone, we're actually finding support. So this is structurally sound. It's really good. It's actually very, very good. Daily time frame, looking at the RSI, same areas that we bounced consistently from really all year. We've bounced at this area. Can we go lower? Sure, absolutely we can, but I don't think we do. I think the low is in, man. I think that's low. If Bitcoin does take out its low right now of 100 and it's 102.8K. If we do go below that low, maybe XRP takes out its low. But just because Bitcoin sees lower lows doesn't mean XRP has to. Look, XRP has higher lows here and Bitcoin has lower lows here. You know what I mean? Like on a daily time frame. It doesn't need, we don't need to see lower lows for XRP just because Bitcoin goes down. I really do think you're at a low point here with that $2.22 price. I think that's it, man. Stochastics look ready to run. The MACD is actually, even though you're crossing red on the daily, you're actually at a point where you'd expect to bounce if you're trending higher, and I think that we are going to start trending higher. We'll see. You know, time will tell. Looking at the weekly time frame here, zooming out a little bit more, and let's actually put this on a chart that has history. Coinbase would have more history for XRP if they didn't delist it, damn it. Look at the weekly RSI. Perfect. High here, lower high, all coinciding with a high, higher high, and a higher high. You had double bearish divergence. You've since then made the move down, very minute move down, excluding the 10th of October. And you've cooled off your indicator. You've cooled way the hell off on your RSI. The last time that you were down here was all the way back here. Again, the last time that you were this low on your RSI was actually, it would have been like here. And that was right before we saw this massive upswing, right? Right before, like quite literally at the lows, right? And this is in between because this week the RSI is up here, that week the RSI is down here. So where this line is technically like intra-week, week-to-week there. But the last time that you're at these areas, you're at a very low point. And here you are at your, notably your highest low that you've ever had in your life. This is very bullish. You've reset your RSI, you've reset your stochastics, your MACD is actually at the zero. You've reset your MACD as well. All of your indicators on the weekly time frame, they look good. They're all bullish. They are all absolutely bullish, and you've reset them. You've been consolidating here for about a year. What comes next, my friends? What comes next? Bitcoin is at its 50-week moving average. What comes next? You know, here we were very close from a low to a high. We rallied 196%. Here, from a low to a high, we rallied 120%. Here, from a low, well, to a high, 70%. I don't think that we're going to see a 70% pump. I don't think we're going to see a 120% pump. I think we're going to see something more like this. Crazy stuff. And technically, initially, you did only pump like 70%, right? And then you consolidated, and then you pumped higher. But 70% here, 70% there, 120%, whatever you want to call it. Bitcoin likely will pump to 180K or higher by the end of the year. What comes next for XRP, guys? What comes next? During this time here, when Bitcoin was pumping, when we had that last kind of great pump interacting with the 50 level here, XRP saw this move. Whenever Bitcoin found support here at the 50 as well, and it saw this nice move as well, kind of a weaker move, but still a nice move, XRP had this move. I want you guys to understand that from here, we saw this move. From here, we saw this move, all at the same areas that Bitcoin's at now in respects to its 50 weekly moving average. We're at a higher point here. If we see a move that's even close to this move here that we saw, let alone something like this, we're breaking out of this range. So think about what that means. What does it mean to break out of this range? Well, if we're breaking out of this range, we're exploring new all-time highs that we haven't seen in several cycles. Okay, 2 bull markets, 2 bear markets. We haven't seen new all-time highs in a very long time. We take this, and I actually want to zoom this in. Let's put this on a monthly basis so we can zoom it in a little bit more. We get a high to a low here. The expectation then is that what's next for XRP is something that's all the way up at, technically 837 is the minimum target, but really we're going up to like $14 or higher. It's very common with the 1414 to wick above it. So whenever we see this, it says 1357. I can see that I have eyeballs, but technically you would expect higher targets, slightly above, like 14, 16 bucks. That's fine, right? Nothing too crazy, but just above here, right? Just above. That's what we would expect to see. Why? I have a feeling that from 2018 to 2025, an overall grandiose consolidation phase like this, let alone a 1-year consolidation phase like this, it's really high and tight on top of all this. I have a feeling we're not going to stop at the minimum target. I have a feeling that's not what's in store for us, but more of something on to a magnitude of this and beyond as the cycle continues to go. XRP, it's the same old song and dance we've been singing and dancing to for about a year now, man. We're just waiting. We're waiting patiently. And as time goes on, I feel like it's only more and more obvious that this $13 target by the end of the year is going to happen. If not by the end of 2025, then I would expect at the latest sometime in January of 2026. But I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all. Shout out to the haters. The trolls are in full force today. Love to see you guys out there showing your support. Higher lows on the monthly time frame, lower lows on the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence is what that is. Your RSI on the monthly time frame is trending overall to the upside, higher lows overall. You're finding support now at prior resistance. You look ready to go. You're reset. You are reset, refreshed, and ready to go. Okay. The last time that you were at levels this low or lower, you had a massive movement up. Okay. You've seen massive moves. In fact, XRP here had a 283% move. Back here, 177%. I'm theorizing that November will be a over 150% growth month. That's what I'm theorizing. Between November and December, we should see some spectacular growth. I really got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.